Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn with BestPriceNutrition.com. We're back again with reviews like we promised. Today we're going to talk about something that Dr. Oz recently spoke about. We've had a lot of questions about it. GLA, or gamma-linolenic acid. It's an omega-6 fatty acid, and we'll get a little bit into the chemistry here in a sec. Let's talk about what did Dr. Oz say about it that everybody's asking. And just so you guys know, when Dr. Oz says it, we get a lot of questions and stuff, so we feel the need sometimes to make a video because they don't really elaborate sometimes on the TV show, and we get a lot of these questions, so hopefully we can answer a lot of them here today.
Yeah, Dr. Oz had mentioned that GLA is good for fat burning, or specifically burning belly fat. That's what his recommendation was, and he recommended 800 milligrams per day of the GLA. A product that we carry that contains it is the Life Extension Mega GLA. Now, when you read the ingredients on the product, it says borage seed oil. Well, that's a source of GLA, and in this, per 1,300 milligrams of borage seed oil, there is 299 milligrams of GLA. So to meet Dr. Oz's recommendation of 800 milligrams, take 3 per day. That'll get you to 900 milligrams of the GLA. And it's not, don't think you're taking too much of it, because it is a fat, so it's not something that you're getting a huge amount of in 3 pills. Obviously we take in grams of fat per day, so this is a relatively small amount. So yeah, you would just take 3 pills per day to meet the Dr. Oz recommendation of 800 milligrams.
It's less than a gram.
Yeah.
And I think what he said is that it's, I know there's a study out there that basically found that a lack of GLA in obese people, and there were 2 mechanisms of action that basically was, one was to activate brown adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue is fat tissue, but this specific fat tissue has mitochondria, and it's something that's lacking in your typical adipose tissue or fat tissue, as you may know it as. So if you have mitochondria, then you're going to have some metabolic activity, which means energy is going to be burned. That was one of the ways, and then also we talked about studies. I think there was one in Japan specifically that was referenced where they spoke specifically about it lacking in obese people, not a lot of GLA specifically.
Yeah, he's really hitting on the, lately he has weight loss and things like that. It's a popular time of the year for that. So this could be a product to try out, I guess.
Now, what it is when we talk about omega-6 fatty acids, this refers to, it's considered a polyunsaturated fat, much like omega-3. And what that means is it's going to have, at some point in the mid-chains of the carbons on a fat, there's going to be a double bond to make up for a lack of a hydrogen there. And what that does is it causes a kink in it, which is what makes it unsaturated. And then where that first double bond occurs from the omega carbon is how it gets, called omega-3 versus omega-6. It's which carbon it occurs on, omega-7, omega-9. Now, the specific difference between omega-3s and omega-6s, because I'm sure many of you have heard of omega-3s, is that omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. Omega-6s are known to be pro-inflammatory. They increase inflammation. And a lot of the modern diseases that we hear talked about, heart disease and things like that, tend to be inflammatory diseases. And a lot of that's due to our omega-3 to omega-6 ratios being out of balance. Now, the unique thing about GLA is actually anti-inflammatory. Your body can actually take, in healthy people, linoleic acid, which is just typical omega-6s that occur in like olive oil and things like that, and other vegetables, and convert it into GLA. It's just the conversion is not as good in people who are not healthy. So that's part of the issue too. So it is anti-inflammatory. Whereas your other omega-6s are pro-inflammatory, and omega-3s are anti-inflammatory as well. So some of you might say, well, why would I want to take another omega-6? Well, this one happens to be anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I was looking up when I was reading about it. I saw it was omega-6, and I read everything that says anti-inflammatory. So like John has said, it is anti-inflammatory.
And what are some sources of it? We touched on, omega-6s are commonly found in like olive oil, would be a healthy source of it. We're not big on the canola oil or other modern vegetable oils because they have other toxins in there that, we definitely would not recommend, that are not handled well by the body, but olive oil is definitely healthy.
Yeah, specific sources for GLA would be blackcurrant oil, borage oil, safflower oil, evening primrose oil. These are all, again, omega-6 fatty acid or omega-6 oils, but they contain GLA, which is anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, so there seems to be a benefit of giving your body the direct form of GLA rather than relying on conversion, and that's what a lot of this research has shown. So,
and a lot of times I've gotten questions from customers asking, well, it says there's 1,300 milligrams, why is there only 299? Well, again, the GLA has to come from somewhere, and it comes from the borage seed oil. So they're actually putting the 1,300 milligrams of oil gets you 299 milligrams of the GLA.
Yeah, there's other stuff in there, other fats, there's lignans and things like that. So always consider that. You know, there's other benefits too. It's good for skin,
Yeah.
and you know, so you'll hear that commonly. So, but mainly focusing on what Dr. Oz had said. That's hopefully clearing up a lot of the questions. I think that's a lot of what people have been asking us, either via the blog or also people who have called in. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to post them in the comments section. We will answer them. I know we fell behind here recently, so we apologize for that, but we're going to get back on those questions and answer them for you. So I hope we were able to help you guys out today. You can check us out at our blog, BestPriceNutrition.com /blog, or you could also check us out at Facebook.com /BestPriceNutrition. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.